Interestingly enough, filing for bankruptcy in Pennsylvania can be expensive. Everyone's situation's different though, so sometimes it can be difficult to come up with $2,000 to pay for a bankruptcy attorney in Philadelphia, to Pittsburgh, or across Pennsylvania to file your case. And as you've probably already noticed from the title, today I'm going to go through the 10 different steps that you may need to take so you can file Chapter 7 bankruptcy in Pennsylvania without an attorney. So let's get right into it. Welcome to the Ascend Finance YouTube channel, where we cover Chapter 7 bankruptcy and help you understand the cost, pros and cons, and help you be informed and get out of debt cheaper, easier, and faster. Now, I wanted to personalize this video for you, and so I'm actually going to link a bankruptcy filing software in the description that was built for Pennsylvania residents and for those in all 50 states who are potentially unable to afford an attorney, but they're still trying to look for some sort of step-by-step guidance on filing their own bankruptcy. The software can also automatically pull your credit information and upload that to the forms to save you time, and also provide the specific courthouse in Pennsylvania that may handle your case. In addition, the forms can actually be quite clunky and kind of hard to understand, so that bankruptcy filing software kind of changes the way you fill out the forms. Instead, it's actually going to ask you questions in form of quizzes and then automatically fill out the forms for you. Also, if you'd like to see whether the bankruptcy filing software could actually work for your situation, feel free to fill out that short questionnaire. I put it in the description below. It'll actually help you understand whether the software will work for you. Also, keep in mind this video is made for informational purposes only and should never be construed as any kind of legal advice. So let's start with step 1. First, it's really helpful to probably gather your information and documents before you kind of dive into filing and filling out all the forms. It can also be helpful to gather all essential information about your debts, assets, income, and expenses. To help with that, you can grab a free copy of your credit report. That way you have all the information in front of you, and it doesn't actually cost you anything to get that. Also, you may want to get documents related to your tax returns for the last 2 years, along with any kind of paperwork showing your income, expenses, debts, and of course, your assets. Okay, step 2, you're gonna wanna complete what's called the Chapter 7 means test. This test will ultimately help you determine whether you qualify for a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, meaning, are you able to go through the process and wipe the unsecured debts away? Step 3, you're going to want to complete your credit counseling course. So if you end up passing the means test, you're most likely going to make the next move to completing your credit counseling course. This is the first of 2 courses that you may need to take in order to file bankruptcy and potentially get your discharge. Okay, step 4, it's now time to actually fill out the forms. There are about 24 forms, I think, but depending on your situation, the paperwork can sometimes stack up to 70 pages or more. And you can actually find these forms on the official US court website. Okay, but let me pause and jump in for just a second here. As I mentioned, there are a lot of forms, right? And it can be incredibly difficult to compile everything as well. So the software that I keep mentioning will not only fill out the forms automatically based on how you answer questions, but it'll also give you the ability to preview all the forms and download all of them in literally one click. That's in one place, so you don't have to worry about missing any documents. You just click the download all button and the software will provide you with all the forms filled out. Now again, if you'd like to see whether this software could work for you, just go to the description. It'll take you no time at all and you can see whether you're eligible to use it. Okay, let's jump back in. Step 5, you're gonna wanna have your filing fee ready. So before you file, you wanna make sure that you most likely have that $338 filing fee ready to go. This fee is most likely paid straight to the courts when you file your forms. You can potentially use cash, money orders, or maybe a check to pay the court directly. With that in mind, if you can't actually pay the filing fee in full upfront, you may be able to get it paid in installments or even get it waived, and so you don't have to pay it at all. Those are things to look into and then reach out to the court about as well. Okay, step 6, file your bankruptcy forms with the court. All right, we're getting very, very close. So once everything's filled out, you're just gonna print out your forms. You're gonna wanna make sure to print on just one side of the paper. You wanna look at to see if there's any errors, then sign in all the correct spots, and then you'll also want to attach copies of the income evidence that you found over the last 6 months. Your credit counseling certificate you want to include as well. That'll kind of prove that you went through that, and then your application to waive or potentially pay the fee in installments if it's applicable. Okay, step 7. Now you're going to want to mail the required documents to the Chapter 7 trustee. You're going to keep an eye on your mailbox. Open all the mail you get from the trustee, the bankruptcy, or any creditors at all. That way you don't miss anything that could potentially lead to your case being being dismissed. Okay, step 8. Now comes the debtor education course. So now that we've mentioned that credit counseling course, you're gonna also wanna take the debtor education course. It's often offered by the same company, so you wanna get that taken care of and then file your certificate with the court as well. Step 9, the 341 meeting of creditors. So about 30-ish to 45 days after you filed, you'll have the first meeting of creditors. Here, the trustee will ask you some questions under oath about your case, but don't worry, these questions will be based on the information you already provided in your forms, so they should be just fine. Step 10, your car loans or any secured debts. So secured debts like car loans aren't necessarily going to be discharged in a bankruptcy, so you'll want to either keep making payments on it, potentially surrender it, or do something else. But if you do want to keep your car, there's one way about doing that. It's reaffirming the loan. This basically means that the loan stays active outside of the bankruptcy, so you'll keep paying on that. Now, of course, if you default on that later, then the lender may be able to potentially repossess the car, but that's kind of what a reaffirmation means. All right, well, thank you so much for sticking around till the end. I know the 10 steps can feel long, but as I mentioned, feel free to fill out that questionnaire. It's linked below. It's in the description. That way you can see whether the bankruptcy filing software could work for you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day.